right, folks, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. It's time to get this show started. Well, welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show today, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the things that shape the city of Las Vegas. And I'm your host, Sherman Ray, with a new look, and I must say, I'm quite dashing today. Yes, I am. Well, I'm going to check here. You got to excuse me for just 1 second here, folks. We, somehow or another, our feed to Facebook changed, and I've got to check to see if we're even on. If we're even on, because sometimes, you just don't know. So I'm going to double check to make sure we're actually even on. Yeah, well, there we are. There we are. Come on. I know. Some of you are looking at me, you're going, Sherm, what's up with the mustache? You lost the beard. And you know what? I've been working on this for a long time. Many of you know I've been working on this for quite a while. How do you like it? Quite the dashing look, I might say. So, my wife hasn't even seen it yet because she left early this morning. And she has not seen my new dashing good looks. So, she'll be surprised when she gets home this evening, because today's my writing day. Usually I see my wife pretty much all morning long, and but today I said, hey, go on, I've got some writing to do today, a lot of stuff to do. We went to an event last night. We'll talk about that a little bit later, and I've got a lot of stuff to catch up on. So I'm welcoming, right now I'm going on to our Facebook pages, welcome you all to our Facebook page. And I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. We come out with the magazine, quarterly. So Livin in Vegas comes out quarterly. On the cover here is Nathan Hall. He's the I keep saying publisher. He's the pub master or the brew master. He's the beer master over at Bad Beat. Sorry. Over at Bad Beat Brewing. Yes, that's pretty obvious. Yes, and so he's one of our major sponsors right now. Just love this guy. He's got the beard. He's got the tattoo, but he doesn't have the striking good looks as I've got. He can't do that. Sometimes you have to be able to do that, don't you? Some of my friends who are in the beard and mustache era or the area know what we're talking about right now. This is one of those things. If you can't do that, it's just very tough. So you can curl it and that kind of stuff. So I'll probably be spending a lot of time curling my mustache and beard, or if I had a beard, curling it for the next until it grows back out. So if you would like to give me your comments on what you think about just the mustache only, don't hesitate. Write us at info@livininvegas.com. info@livininvegas.com. Also, we produce a magazine called Livin Weekly Magazine. And so Livin Weekly Magazine, this is the cover of it. And I'll tell you, if you've not been out, I was talking about this yesterday at an event we went to last night. And it was the Large Vision networking mixer over at the Santa Fe station. I was talking with a young guy because he came up to the table and he said, hey, what do you guys do over here? Because he saw our booth over at the Santa Fe. We've got the PowerPoint presentations and stuff like that. Oh, and I hope you all had a good time that were there. It's a great time. Really did. Met a lot of people. So he comes over to the table and he says, hey, so what are you guys doing? What do you do? And I said, well, we produce a magazine called Livin in Vegas Magazine. And he goes, oh my gosh, I've heard of that. I've seen that before. And I go, well, I hope you have. And so we started talking about all of the cool stuff that's going on in Vegas. And he's a dad, and he's got a young daughter and that kind of stuff. And he wants to find things for his daughter to do. And I said, well, have you been out to the bird sanctuary yet? And that's on the cover of Livin Weekly magazine. And he says, No, I didn't even know there was one existed here because I've been going out to Springs Preserve and stuff. I go, let me tell you something. So we proceeded to tell him about the bird sanctuary. And if you pick up your copy of Livin Weekly, you can find out that we actually do have a bird sanctuary. It's just north of town. I mean, it's really close. I mean, it's as close. If you live in I shouldn't say downtown, Santa Fe Station, it's as close from the Santa Fe Station to downtown as it is from the Santa Fe Station to the bird sanctuary, which is just north of town. Very close. And so he had no idea, and I spoke to this a couple of people, and I said, well, this is why you want to pick up Livin Weekly magazine or Livin in Vegas magazine, because we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We really do. Every week I find something new, and we get to share it with you. And sometimes we talk about it on our Facebook page, which many of you are watching us on our Facebook page right now, so you can actually watch that. And then you can watch me do this with my mustache. My finely coiffed mustache now. So I'll have it doing the curl thing here pretty soon. And then you'll see this big curly thing. But right now, it'll curl a little bit on this side, but it just kind of looks funny. So what else is going on? Before we get started here, folks, let's talk about a few things. Let's sell something real quick here, and then we'll be back in just a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Sorry. I was looking at my finely coiffed mustache there, and you caught me, didn't you? Let's talk about a couple of other things that are going on in Las Vegas that you've got to know about. In another week, we're actually having... I'm sorry, what was that? In about another week, we're going to be having the CBLV meet and greet. So that'll be really cool. I'm looking really forward to that. It's going to be at the Panera Bread over at 2400 South Rainbow Boulevard, or excuse me, Rancho Boulevard, Suite, I think it's 180. So you can actually go check that out. It's a Christian business networking mixer, which is really exciting. Been working on that for a little bit. And if you have got a business that you'd like to go out and you'd like to talk to people about your business, come on out. And it's $5 at the door, or you can go online at Christian Biz LV. That's Christian Biz, B-I-Z, LV.com, and you can go to the Eventbrite page and check it all out. Okay, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Friday we're going to actually have a special guest on the show. So Friday we're going to have Sam and Bree. And Sam and Bree are, it sounds like a band, doesn't it? They are the founders of His Hop Nation, or His Hop Radio. And I don't know if you've heard of it before. It's a real cool local business that ministers to kids. And we're going to be doing some things with them. We might be even doing a kids section where have them write some articles, that kind of thing. And so they're going to be on Friday to talk about His Hop and what His Hop is all about. So HISHOP Hop. So His Hop, which is really cool. So let's talk about some things that are going on in the news. I don't know if many of you heard about this before or know who this guy is, but Vin Scully, the longtime voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and many of you love the Dodgers as I do. He passed away yesterday. Yeah, as a broadcaster, and I'm a broadcaster, folks. If you boil it down to its basic thing. I'm a storyteller and I'm a broadcaster. So Vin Scully was part of the broadcast landscape since he was since the 1950s. So he'd been around a long time. He was the voice of the Dodgers for 67 years. He was with them in Brooklyn and then L.A. And he was 94 years old and he passed away. So we really send out our prayers to he and his family. That right now, excuse me, they have not said how he passed away. I would think it's because of old age. I mean, the guy's 94 years old. Lived a long and very storied life. So thank you, Vin Scully, for all you've done. And we just thank you so much for all that that you did over the years to promote the cause of sports and in the broadcast realm. Now, Vin Scully was only missing one thing, folks. I know you're going. He was missing the mustache. He was missing the because when you have the mustache, you can actually say words, and nobody knows your lips are moving. Especially if you speak, Cockney or British. Down at Fremont Street, I don't know if many of you had heard about this before, but Fremont Street, over the last few years, has had a problem that they've been dealing with, and the problem is our underage kids acting a fool down there on Fremont Street. And so the city council is going to meet today to talk about implementing a ban on anybody under the age of 21 in that downtown area. And specifically Ogden on the north, 8th Street on the east, Carson City on the south, and then Main Street on the west side between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., okay, which is basically that whole area. Now, this is interesting. That includes Fremont Street Experience. So that's really kind of the biggest area that they're really trying to address is the Fremont Street Experience area. But there are other areas that are in that downtown corridor that it's getting tough. It's getting tough. Now, I remember as a kid that the Fremont Street was a drivable fair when I was a kid. And so that's where we were at Friday nights. Not all the time, but, on occasion we'd go down to Fremont Street and rebel rouse and jump up and down. We would never get out of our cars, though. Really wouldn't. We would drive up and down. And I think that's probably part of the problem. So let's talk about this for just a second. That when you have a driving area, people stay in their cars. Okay, and I think this makes more sense. When I was a kid in the 60s, 70s, Fremont Street was drivable. It was drivable all the way up till 95, I believe it was, because I worked on Fremont Street Experience and built that Fremont Street Experience as an electrician. So that happened in 95. Up until then, it was drivable. And you didn't have the problems that you have now. You had the hookers used to walk. The drug guys used to walk. Kids drove. You didn't have people stopping and literally just walking up and down the way you do now with the Fremont Street Experience. Not saying anything that the Fremont Street Experience is bad, but there are things that happen as a result of you having a walkable mall area. And then when Fremont Street Experience first opened up, you didn't have all of the street guys in there too. In an effort to continue to pack more people down there, the people in that Fremont mall area basically said, hey, let's put entertainment down there. Let's have this, that. All the stuff you see on the strip now came down to the Fremont Street Experience area. That's a recipe for disaster. And over the last few years, now you've got kids, you've got craziness, you've got all kinds of events that go on down there. Nothing wrong with the events, but once again, you just have to be very, very kind of careful about that because... So that's something that's probably going to happen. They believe that over at the... what is it called? First Friday, that they're not going to have it. First Friday. Or in the Arts District, I should say. Arts District, they think that they're trying to get exempted from this. Well, you know what's going to happen. then tell you folks at the Arts District right now. If you ban the people from that area and it ends at like Carson, no, where's the other boundary? What's the boundary on the south side? South side, Carson. So if you so Ogden's on the north, Carson's on the south. Okay, that's really not a big area. People are just going to migrate down to the Arts District, and you're going to have a problem down there at the Arts District. So what they're going to end up having to do, they're going to have to do the entire area, the whole downtown area. They're going to just have to say, hey, look, no kids down here. There just can't be. Because unfortunately what happens is they're going to go down into the Arts District, and they're just going to mess with everybody. And every time you keep pushing them, they're going to keep going down that way. Okay. School's coming back. School's coming back into... the school's going to be back, next week? I think school's back in next week. And Dr. Jesus Jara sat down for an interview to talk to the public about what he thinks is some of the biggest concerns coming up in the school year. I think one of the things, of course, is going to be school safety. The other one's going to be mask mandates. We're going to link this story on our website at livininvegas.com. You can check this out. We'll actually put it at the top of our page so you can actually check it out. Especially some of you folks who have kids that are going back to school, and you'll want to hear what Dr. Jesus Jara said. And so be sure to check that out. So once again, go to our website at livininvegas.com. You can actually see the whole video and the interview, which is there. Let's do this something real quick. Let's pay another bill. We'll be back in a second. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Well, welcome back, folks. And once again, if you are a business owner, and you've got something you'd like to, if you want to get out there and tell everybody about your business, there is probably no better place to do that than here at the Livin in Vegas podcast. Also, if you are a nonprofit or if you've got a community, event that for a nonprofit, that kind of stuff, and you'd like us to announce it, definitely let me know. Just send me your announcement to info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com, and we will put it up on the air. So be sure to do that. Or you can go to some of you are on our Facebook page right now. It's wonderful, and you can put it on there. Not sure that I will always see it there, but I will definitely get it if you send it to me at info@livininvegas. Can I put that up there? Let's put our email address up there. Get rid of the title real quick, and we'll put we'll get rid of you, and then we'll put our email address up there. So info@livininvegas.com. So info@livininvegas.com. If you've got a community event you'd like us to announce, just send it to us, folks. We will actually get it out there, and we will let everybody know about it. We were just talking about the downtown area, and a lot of stuff is still happening down there. Life is Beautiful announced that they're coming back September 16th through the 18th. And they've got, they already announced that this year's culinary lineup has more than 70 chefs, bartenders, restaurants, food trucks, and more that are going to participate in the fall event. Very cool. So, in addition, they've got musical headliners, which will be there, and people will be drinking and stuff like that. But the big thing is actually going to be about the food, and that's cool. So we'll put a link to this. You'll see food truck stuff here. Some cool Echo and Riggs, Mabel's Barbecue, Pizza Rock, which we've talked about in the last couple of months or so about some of the cool stuff that they've been doing. So you can definitely check that out on our website, livininvegas.com. Also, in another story, so many people who have committed crimes down on the Strip, they commit a crime down the Strip, they go away, they come back, commit another crime, they go away, they come back. People are getting really tired of that. And so the Clark County Commission is putting together a ordinance, and I believe it was already passed, a policy that gives court the power to issue stay-out orders from lawbreakers. What this means, folks, is if you were busted for doing something goofy on the Strip, okay, you were intoxicated, you beat up somebody, you did whatever, they can tell you not to come back for a year. Okay, so basically it's a stay-out order. It says stay-out order, do not come back here. And it's called the order out corridor. The order out corridor. Okay, so and a lot of people are very, very happy about this. They really are, because guess what? You know, people come to Vegas to have fun. There's really no reason why you need to be you have to subject yourself to, you know, undue violence. There's really no reason for it. So you're here to have a great time, and that's what we provide here at Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, we're going to be even posting even more things on our Livin Vegas page and our Livin Weekly page about more of the things that you can do. We were contacted by a lady who wants to work with us, which I'm really excited about. She wants to be contributing to write articles and stuff like that. And she says, I've got a lot of family friends who come here, and they don't want to go to the Strip. I go, well, hey, guess what? Read read Livin Weekly, read Livin in Vegas, and you can find out all of the cool things that are going on in Las Vegas. So we're going to be posting even more of those in the coming weeks. You'll go to our website at livininvegas.com or go to livinweekly.com, and you're going to see even more stuff that's going to be telling you about what we did. Now, we put out Livin Weekly magazine at the end of the week, but what we're going to be doing also is posting even more during the week, so you don't have to wait all week long. Okay, it'll be right on the front page, and then we'll actually give you a bonus for Livin Weekly magazine. So, hope you like that. What else is going on here? Oh, how much time do we have left? Yeah, we've got just a couple minutes. So, I guess, did you hear about this? There's a guy who has been posing as a health inspector, and he's not. He is not a health inspector. And this is the funny thing about it. He goes to this one restaurant, and he's looking up at the camera. So Metro asking the public to help find a man who's gone to businesses saying he's a health inspector, then takes cash and flees. My gosh, what is... Okay, so here's the problem with any of this stuff, is that you as a business owner have no idea when the health inspector is going to come. You have no idea. That they don't tell you. I ran a restaurant, so we had a restaurant. And when our health inspector comes, you know who they are, because they generally have a badge around their neck and they have a clipboard, and everybody goes like you're scared, right? But other than that, they do not tell you when they're going to come. And a lot of times they'll sneak in, and before you know it, they're in your kitchen. That's probably one of the things that gets you the most. So for this guy to come in, and I don't blame the food handlers or the establishment owners, is because you don't know. Because if you knew the health inspector was going to be there, what would you do? Well, you'd clean up all the stuff that you've got. So, and that's not their job. Their job is there to make sure that you're there or not, you're doing good or not. They describe this guy, white male, 25 to 35 years old, wearing blue button-up shirt, black pants. So we'll post a picture of this guy and the contact information for Metro, and so you can put this guy behind bars, right? I know. I can do that now because it looks cool when you do that. I'm putting this guy behind bars. Just a couple minutes left, folks. Um, so I saw this article, and I just couldn't resist it. And the article is talking about the top 20 best coffee shops in Las Vegas. Now, many of you know I used to own a coffee shop. We were coffee roasters. I still know how to coffee roast, and I still drink my own coffee. Why? Because once you become a roaster, your whole perspective changes on coffee. There's some coffee I won't drink. Period. I won't tell you whose it is because that's up to you. They've developed a following, and those people, I'm going to let them do whatever they want. But I can tell you this myself. I can tell the difference between good coffee and really bad coffee. So let's find out. So as the article starts out, they start out really well. They talk about the types of coffee: Arabica, Robusta. The other ones you really don't even need to know about because you never see it. But they talk about some of the coffee shops that are in town, and I'm looking at some of them already, and I am not going to say anything. Okay. So, all right. So on this one, I will tell you some of them they do have on their list, and I will tell you if I like them or not. Grouchy John's, love them. Okay, love Grouchy John's coffee because I know who their roaster is. Wow. Public Us. Okay, Public Us, actually, I don't know about their coffee so much. I do know about their baristas, though. They actually had a world champion barista that was in their coffee establishment. I don't know if he's still there, but Public Us, which is downtown, very good coffee. And they've got the Cafe Leon is, they're all right. Okay, and I like Cafe Leon because of the ambiance. Okay, I really like that more than anything else. And boy, they've some of these Mothership. I love Mothership. Mothership actually has several locations. They are actually they are the oldest coffee roaster in town. Okay, when we were there, when we had our shop, we were the third oldest. Okay, and Mothership they were there before us, and they're still here now, which is great. And who else? And okay, so they're missing one that they probably should have had on here, and that is Samba Latte. Okay, Luis, you and me, brother. Okay, Luis Oliveira. He is a fantastic guy. Probably, if I am going to pick a place to have my coffee, okay, I am going to pick Samba Latte. I'm going to pick them every time. Okay, if anybody ever says, "Hey, where do you want to meet at?" I will say Samba Latte. Just because it has the cool factor, it has the coffee factor. They roast their own coffee. They have what they call what do they call the word? They have the nomenclature. They've got the pedigree. They did the work to produce a good coffee, and that is important. Okay, I mean I know I'm getting really serious, right? But you have to have the Provenance. You've got to have that. You can't just show up and say, "Hey, I got good coffee because I put brown stuff in a cup." Okay, that's not it. Okay, especially if you are one of these chains. If you're a real big chain and you've got a lot of this coffee that's just you're throwing it, you're gonna lose some of that stuff. Okay, and I will not talk about one of the largest coffee people in the valley because they're really not coffee anymore. They are a product. Okay, so once again, Mothership is great. I'm gonna put number one would definitely be Samba Latte. Mothership definitely number two. What I would put on my list of people. Okay, not that there's not other good coffee shops in town, but if you're gonna ask me where I'm gonna go, those are the places. Okay. Anyways, we're out of time, folks. We really are. I want to thank you all for being a part of the show today. Be sure to go to our website at livininvegas.com and check out all of the stuff that we didn't get a chance to talk about tonight, and there's a lot of it. You'll see, and you will also see some of the links to some of the stories that we spoke about today on our website at livininvegas.com. And if you have an event that you would like us to talk about, just send it to us at info@livininvegas.com. Okay, info@livininvegas.com. Okay, we're gone, folks. We'll be back again Friday for Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. Well, we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool. I'm Sherman Ray. We'll talk to you soon.